Hello there friends, and welcome to another video about how to create a parallax WordPress theme. And in this video I'm going to take care of the blog pages, or the news and event pages. So if we click on a news and event here currently, we get into a page that doesn't look so good. So we're going to style that, and I also want to have a page where all of my blog posts and events are listed through this button. And if I click on this button, it just takes us back to the main page here. So we are going to add a page and make this button usable as well. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So let's get started. And I'm now in my file structure. So the first thing I want to do is tell you what files we're going to use. We're going to create a new page template for our uh, blog posts, and then also going to add a single.php page for our individual blog posts or events. All right, so first thing we're going to do is in the back end of our WordPress installation, going to add a new page. Add new, and I am going to call this one news and events, like so. And we are going to create a template for this one here. So let's start by publishing this. And if we go and view the page, it just takes in news and events, and the reason it does that is if we don't have it set up, it will first fall back to index.php. But if we have a page.php, it will fall back to that one first. All right. So if we look at page.php, we have the header and we have the title and the content. Since we don't have any content, it will only show the title like this. What we're going to do though is we are going to create a page template for our blog. But before that, let's go to our front-page.php and fix this button here. All right. So how to do that? Well, let's scroll all the way down here to our news and events section. And at the bottom here, I have a link. Currently, it's just takes us back to our main front page. So let's change that. So what we need to do is we need to get a bring in a WordPress function called get page by title. So let's do that. Get underscore page underscore by underscore title, and here we need a title of the page. And if we go back to our back end, news and events here, if we click on this one here and go back here to the document, so we have the name right there, news events 2. I think I might change that actually. Let's see all our pages. I already had one. Let's you know what? Let's delete this one here, and let's just click on this one there, right? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can change the slug. Let's update, and so it's this name, news hyphen events. And if you go to the page, let's refresh here. You can see that up here, news hyphen events. So we are going to copy this and paste it back in here on our back file structure like this. And let's save this, and let's go back to our front end and let's refresh. And as you can see, let's see, it looks a little bit weird. Let's go back to page News and events, and let's go back here and see. Oh, actually, what you need to do is, yeah, you need to get the title, not the URL. You need the title here. So what we can do is just copy this title and paste it in here. Now let's save, and let's go back to our front end and let's refresh. And now you can see it's linking to the news and events page. So I click on it, I come here, news and events. All right, and you get the URL up here. So you need the exact title uh, in the permalink. All right, so now that's been taken care of, let's create a page template for um, to list all our blogs and blog posts and events. So let's go to our page templates folder and let's create a new file. And I'm going to call this page-blog.php. Okay, and this is going to be a page template. So let's start with just going to copy the comment here and paste it in at the top. So instead of general layout, I'm just going to call this maybe blog page layout, and instead of page template, just maybe blog page template. Okay, and then let's bring in the header like so, and also let's bring in the footer so we get all the styling in there. And now let's go back here to our page here and let's refresh, and down here we can choose this blog page layout template, and let's update, and on the front, and let's refresh. Now it's only the header up here, the menu bar and the footer, which is what should be shown because we don't have any content in here. So what we're going to do here is we are going to add all our blog posts, and I'm going to do similar to what I did on the front page. So here I'm only showing 3. I think I'll show 4 maybe at a time. Then a little pagination link down here that we can jump between pages. So in our file structure, let's first do a section with a class of section and section events like this. And let's also jump out of PHP and down here I think we can jump back into PHP. Okay, now in this section I'm going to add a well, actually I don't need the title for this actually. Well, yeah, let's do this news and events. All right, and below here we need a class because we're gonna use the same class and as the front page, so it's news front like so. And in this one here, let's open up our PHP tags, and also let's close them down here. So let's first let's bring in the query, a new custom query. So first let's do the underscore query. That's new vp underscore query, and in an array I'm going to bring in posts per page like so, and I need 4 posts on one page at the same time. So that's it for now. After this, let's bring in the loop, right? So we need an if, And this time we're going to bring in the query and an arrow function, have underscore posts. Okay, and let's see, also do that. So that's that, and then a while statement as well. While, and same here, the query have posts, and then we need the query and the post, like so. That's that. Now let's decide what we actually are going to display. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump out of PHP because I want to add a link here. So first let's do an href, like so. And here we need a permalink. Permalink, like so. And let's close the PHP tag there. And also we're going to need a class for styling, and it's news boxes. All right, and inside this a tag, first gonna go back into PHP. Let's close it there as well. So we need the post thumbnail. Thumbnail, like so. And under here, let's do an h2 tag. So we need a title and PHP. So let's do the underscore title. This will bring out the title of the post. And then let's get back into PHP here. And here we need the excerpt, like so. Okay, and that's it for the A tags. Now let's get back into PHP. Let's do PHP, and here we need to end the whole thing. So we're doing end while, and then we need to reset the custom query, and we do that by doing vp underscore reset underscore post data. Otherwise this query will run forever. We don't want that. Okay, and that's that. And then we need to end the if statement, like so. And then we jump out of PHP. Then we got the div right there. Let's see, something's up here. Why is this div red? Good question. We got a section, we got the div. Let's save this. There's no error down here, so maybe it's just something up with this. Let's refresh. Let's click on our news and events, and here we got the whole thing. Something's up though. It's probably something here. We got the post here. Oh, need that one. Then href. Got that, and then we got the class there. Then post thumbnail, and then we got the title and the excerpt. Looks nice. And end while. The query have post. Yeah. Take a look again. So it doesn't bring in the rest of the post there, right? Let's see. Let's try this. Save it. and let's refresh. All right, there we go. Just check the code here. Let's see, let's do, let's 4. Okay, this works. All right, so that's that. Now let's do a pagination because we do have more blog posts. So in order to do that, in our array, let's add first let's add another variable. So we got same here, the underscore query get now we need to get the query variable, and it takes in a parameter called paged, like so. And in here, in the array, we can bring in this paged key. So paged, and we need the query. So we need to bring in this one here. So that's that. Now let's go down here to the bottom and let's add the actual link there. So under this div, let's create a new div, and let's call this div section and pagination, like so. And let's do PHP, and let's close them as well, like so. And let's echo, and we need to echo paginate links, and in here we need to bring in an array, like so. And the total, we need the total pages, right? So bring in the query, and then a function called max underscore num underscore pages, and that's that. All right, now let's save this, and let's go to our front end and let's refresh. Now you can see we got the pagination here, and if I click on it, I get to other posts I've done before. And as you can see, we have previous, takes us page 2, and then we have next there as well. So the pagination is working fine. So we're going to style this a little bit later. But before we do that, let's head over to our individual events and blog posts. So this one is now looking great. So what this one does here is WordPress is looking for page handles, all these individual blog posts. So if there's no specific file for a blog post, we look for index.php, and here we have no styling whatsoever. But here I have the meta and the data that I want to bring in, and you can see that we get the tags, the category, title, and post thumbnails, and the content. So we have post thumbnails, the title, categories, tags, and the content. And you can create tags and categories inside your pages. So you just go to posts. Sorry, if you go to posts, just click on the first one, winter meal. There you can create and choose categories right here. Same with tags, you can add tags as well. All right, so let's fix this here, right? So instead of index.php, I'm going to create a separate file, and I'm gonna call it single.php. So WordPress will look for single.php before index.php. So if single.php doesn't exist, it will fall back to the index.php. All right, so let's take care of this. First, I'm going to just copy the comment here and paste it in. All right, so let's change the comment to display a single post, and let's bring in the header, and I'm also going to bring in the footer while I'm at it. Okay, so in here gonna need a loop. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy the loop from our index.php. Just gonna copy the whole thing, not the comment, but the whole thing here, and let's paste it in. All right, so I'm gonna add a few things here. So after the while statement, the loop there, I'm gonna go out of PHP. In here, I'm gonna create a class and call it page thumbnail, because we already created this before and we're gonna use the same, so no need to reinvent the wheel. And in here, let's open up our PHP tags and close it. Just cut and paste the thumbnail, and under the thumbnail we're gonna have the rest of the page. So I'm gonna do class of page main, and first a PHP tag. So no, we need a h2 tag, and then PHP. Okay, and let's cut and paste the title like so, and then I'm going to do actually I used to do 2p tags, and in here actually let's do class of page meta, and in here let's bring in the PHP and first the category like so. And since I'm on VS Code, I can do Control Shift D. It will copy one line down, and instead of the category, I'm just going to use the tags. All right, and then I just need a normal paragraph, and let's do PHP on this one as well. And let's cut out the content like so. And after this, let's jump back into PHP, and let's move these up here. And that's all I'm gonna do here on this page. So let's refresh, and we should see some styling taking effect. All right, so we got the image nice, header, and we got the content nice. So let's take care of the coding and the event. All right, but first, before we do that, let's deal with the pagination. So in our style sheet, let's go all the way before the footer, and here I'm going to create a comment, and with maybe pagination. Or actually, maybe it's better to, yeah, let's just do pagination here. Okay, and so in the pagination here we had right there, we had a class of section pagination. So what I want to do here is maybe a little bit bigger margin or padding between there. So let's do this. Let's close this one off. Then later video we will make this mobile friendly as well. All right, so first thing we got the section pagination. I need a padding top 10 pixels and a padding bottom 10 pixels like this. Let's save that and let's refresh. Right, doesn't look like much now, but we're gonna make these a little bit bigger, so we need more padding there. Next thing, let's target the A tags, because these are all A tags. So in here, let's do section pagination, and you need a tag there. So let's do a font size of 1.5 m. Let's refresh. Alright, so now it's a lot bigger. Okay, now let's target the previous and next here. Okay, so the classes for those, if we take a look there, so we have a class of prev and page numbers. So what we need to do is to do the prev class, and also later on for the next here as a class of next. All right, so let's target prev and next. So back in our style sheet, let's do a dot prev, and this one needs a padding right of 10 pixels, and then we need a with next, and also this one is padding left 10 pixels. Let's save it, and let's close this one for now. Let's refresh, so there's a little bit more space here in between. So let's increase the space between the numbers. So let's bring out the inspector, and let's have a look there. So this guy's got the page numbers, page hyphen numbers. All right, so let's go back to our style sheet, and let's target those. So just do page numbers, and the page numbers need a padding left of 5 pixels, and then the padding right of 5 pixels, like so. Now let's go back here and refresh. Right, so you can see that we got bigger padding between here. All right, so that's good. Let's also do a hover. So when we hover over, we want to make it pop out a little bit so we know where we are. So in this case, we're just going to do page numbers and hover. And what do we want to happen when we hover? We need change the background color to DGD, and then color of the text, let's change that as well to the same color as down here. So to A2, E32, like so. Let's refresh. Okay, so when we hover over, you can see what happens here. So that looks pretty neat. All right, so let's also, now we're on page 2, it says a smaller text. I also want to have like an underline here as well, so it's even clearer where we are. So let's target that, and if we target the number 2 here, you can see it has a class of current. Okay, this up here does not have a class of current. So if I go on, yeah, this one here, number 2, and also this one here for number 3, it does not have class of current. Okay, so let's target the class of current in our style sheet. So current, and let's do text decoration of underline. Let's refresh. All right, so now you can see it's get a little underline there. Okay, so let's close that, and let's make it full page there. Right, so now you can see that it's we got the pagination going. That's pretty neat. All right, so let's take care of the individual pages here, or blog posts. So we need to change this and this. So let's start with the coding, the categories right there. So let's bring up the the inspector, and let's just target the whole thing there. So you can see here it has a UL class of post categories. So we can deal with that this way. So let's just go back to our style sheet and let's make another comment actually. So let's do single blog page, and here we're targeting the categories. So, all right. So we had the UL. So it's let's target UL dot post categories. Okay, so this post categories class is a class that comes with WordPress already. Okay, so we don't need any list style. So what we're gonna do is we're going to remove this dot here. Okay, so let's do list style none. Let's save that and let's refresh up here. All right, so you can see the dot's gone. All right, next thing is a little bit bigger margin here, I think, between these two. So again, let's target the post categories, and in this case, we need the ULI here to have a little bigger margin. All right. So again, UL dot post categories, and then we target LI, and margin bottom on this one should be 20 pixels. Okay, let's save that. All right, so that's nice. Now let's push this one in a little bit, so it has the same nice line as this. So in our style sheet, let's target it's an A tag. So these are all A tags. So let's bring those in. So let's go back to style sheet and just gather UL dot post categories and then li, and in our li tags we need an A tag, and let's do background color of the same there 282E32, and the padding to be 10 pixels, then margin left 30 pixels. Let's save that and let's refresh. All right, so now you see we get that. Cool. Next thing we can do is let's take care of the tags here. Okay, so let's do a comment of tags, and let's see, we just do a hover on this one. Okay, so let's do, and if we look target this one here, let's see what we got. So it's in our class of page meta and then A, so we need to target that and hover obviously. So let's do page meta A, and we need to hover, and then the hover is text decoration. I want an underline, and then color. I change the color here as well to like 282E32, and then the background color to TDD. Let's save that. Let's refresh. Okay, and if I hover over, you can see there. Maybe can use a little padding, perhaps. Padding. Let's do 10 pixels. See what that does. So refresh. And all right, so we got a little padding going on there as well. Cool. So let's close this off here, and let's make it a little bit bigger. All right, so that's what it looks like full screen. You can do a lot of things here. You obviously hover over this. You can make this smaller size, or you can make this cursive. Maybe a little borderline here, a bigger padding between the tags and events to make it stand out. But I'll leave this styling up to you there, guys. So this is it for this video. I'm going to create another video in this series where we make this whole thing responsive and clean up a little bit of the code. But for now, this is it. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.